Hey people, I'm trying to backtrack through here and get some more of these pages closed out still. And I found this, I thought you'd enjoy it. Their interpretation of this is in Deuteronomy 2:12. And in Seir dwelt the Horites formerly. And so Seir is said to be this mountain range from the Dead Sea to the Red Sea. So they say. And it says, and in Seir dwelt the Horites formerly, but the descendants of Esau dispossessed them and destroyed them from before them and dwelt in their place. And so, Esau, that's the brother of Israel. And dispossessed them, that means stole all their belongings and destroyed them and killed them. And from before them, the Horites was living there. And so they dwelt in their place. And just as did Israel to the land of their possession. So just as, meaning that they dispossessed them and destroyed them. They stole everything they had and killed them. And that's how Israel become their land. And just as did Israel to the land of their possession, which gave Yahweh them. And so Yahweh, most people interpret Yahweh as the voice in your head. The voice in their head told them to steal everything and kill them and take their land. So according to this translation, this would be a better definition of a Jew. Somebody who acts upon the voice in their head that tells them to kill and destroy. But that ain't really what it says, but what it says is pretty cool. So this and in, they're getting this from the Vav B, which could be and in, but this is of UV, of Seir. And then these two lines up here tell you to read these four letters 2 more times. And so it's of Seir of so and so. Like he said so and so and so and so. But the first so is the S-O and then the W. The so, to plant, and then in S-O. It's so, the so in so, to plant in so. The say of the sayer of plant in so. And then is, and the B is in, and then backwards after this mark, S-I-V, and then the B is in again, is in, sieve, in, to. The Vav is connected to, is in, sieve, into. The one who receives and dwelt there. And then each, E-C-H. The each rhyme is, it's a poem. Each, R-Y-M, and the little wave up here, the crapeto turn, where it's sitting tells you to grab the I again and the final M, which reads as an S now. And so it's, the harem is, or each rhyme is, but it's definitely not the Horites. And so each rhyme is of pings, of places. And they usually always say that this has to do with in the face of, in the presence, never formally, in the front of, behind of, inside of. They'll give it a bunch of different meanings, but it means of the ping, P-N-I. And a ping is a position. When you shoot stars out in the water, you shoot pings, and to get your position is what it means. And it's where your word mapping come from pings. And that's what this is, of pings, of the places, of in. As of, O-S, and then the other way, O-V. As of, as to see connected, as of, and then S-U, and then J-I, Suji. As of Suji Rooses. And so a Suji is to, in the Basque, a Suji's a snake. But most of the English, we use it as to suck. To Suji that on out of there. To suck, to to draw a liquid out, suji, or to suck, absorb. As of the suji ruses, R-U-S-U-S, the diamond up here as you move the U on the other side, and as of suji ruses. A ruse being an action or plan which is intended to deceive someone. So this might read, of sayer of so and so is deceiving we hear 'em is of places of in as of suji rusas, as to suck up. Who smitums? Who's smitums? They're trying to put that as in smitems, but it's who's shame. Who shamed? SMY is the name or the shame. You're called for your shame. And who shamed UM, and then the mark at top gives it a final S. Who shamed 'ems? Them, UMS. Who shamed 'ems? And that's a play on words like kingdoms, DUMS. And so it's, who named 'ems? You got your kingdom by putting your name on the map. Of mapping, MPNI, mapping this. And so they shamed them, they roosted them out of their property. Who shamed them is mapping, they mapped them out of it. So this is just confirming what I already knew, that all these ancient maps are just a ruse. It's why this map of the Exodus just don't make no sense. They came out, they went into the sea and back out and back across, and they come out here and they zigzag between this mountain range. The only reason you would do that is if you were searching for something or surveying. And they took the long route when there was already a road straight on through there that would have took a day to walk. Who shamed them or who named them? Mapping this. Who sieved to? Who, why, how, or who? And who sieved to? Who receives it? And dwelt. Who sieved to, or who sieve what that is? THTTS. Who sieved to what that is in their place and dwelt in their place. The one received who that is. And then just as kosher. The kosher or the chaser. CHASER, chaser. The chaser, and what you need to wash that sour drink down with, a chaser, as OE. OS, the line says read it the other way, OE. And so as O is a odal, OE, and it means a air, as air. And then seas, SEIS, as air seas. Seize or season, Caesar, to take possession. As odal, the Caesar. SEISER, Caesar. And then the diamond has you move the L over, so it's lull, LALL. The lull archers. And so lull is a singular of lulling, coming from the Greek lullos, meaning babbling. And you see in the Greek, the Tower of Babel is called the Tower of Confusion because it means confuse. Lullos means confused. And so as odal, as the air sun, the odal, the air sun, Caesar takes control, lull, the confusion, our chair, ARCHAR, our chariots. And then the line over the X means there's two. This one says read it LARX and then ARX and then the X again. And so as the odal Caesar lull takes control in the confusion, our chair, the X is a CHAR, our chair, and then TS. The X is also the TS. And so our chariot sits, R-T-S-T-S. Our chariot sits. He done took our chair. Yours is it, of their possessions, Y-R-S, yours, and then the dot up here says E, and this dot says another S-E, and so Y-R-S-E-S-E-T. Yours is it, and then the Va reads over here, backwards, wars. Yours is it, wars, and then A-N, backwards and forwards after this tack, on tent, T-N, and then T, on tentin, on tent, on tentum. And yours is it, wars, on tentum. Jewel, Jewel, J-E-W-E-L-E-S, the Jewlies, Jewlies. And yours is it, wars, on tentin, Jewlies. And so you're intending to have a war, you know, in the tent of the Jewlies. And Google will tell you, you know, jewel is a precious stone. And they'll tell you it come from old Latin jocus, or jest, and that ain't it. And come from old French Jew as a game to play. They're totally lulled, confused. You know, everybody knows that Jew is the most used word in the Bible, Jew. And all these Jewlies, you know, they have this convention over here every year, and they all bring their jewels and trade stones and stuff. And then they have freaky orgies, and they call themselves the Jewlies. You know, the Jewlies, J-E-W-E-L-E-S, the Jewlies. They say they don't know where it come from, but this word come up 6,218 times here. And you see every time it comes up, J-E-W-E, you know, it's followed by an A-L or an L every time. The jewel. The jewel is. The jewel, jewel, every time. The jewel. The jewelers. You know, the Lord God, the jewel his. And it was when it's not the Elohim after, it's still a A-L, the jewel. You know, and sometimes it's the jewel can. Sometimes it's the jewel fine. But most of the time this comes up, it's followed with an L. You know, and who was Noah? You know, the jewel no. You know, N-H is no. Noah. And said the jewel knows, the jeweler. And so of sayer of so-and-so is in Seven we hear is of places of in as of Suji Rus, to Suji Rus us, to suck us up out of. Who shamed ems, you know, who named their places, who shamed ems, their dominions, mapping this, who sieve what that is, Kaiser, the ruler, as Odal, Caesar, Lull, as the air takes control and confusion. Our chair it sits, yours is it, wars on Tenton, the Jewlies. And so the Jewlies, you know, the line down here tells me it's possibly reads to make, have, less, L-E-S. Final M is a S. But you can see that's also the same place where the evil comes from, E-V-E-L. The evil is. You know, that Yod, the I, means to make, evil is. So that's why they've been run out of every country for thousands of years now. Alright, I'm going to cut these couple pages out and keep on backtracking and see if I can find out what sent me this way.
Don't forget, hooty hoot, tooty hoot. I won't forget.
Alright, I'm going to cut this off here. Good day.